Welcome to Curiosity, the podcast where science meets wonder. Join us as we explore the fascinating, the innovative, and the unexpected, from the secrets of the cosmos to the marvels of everyday life. Each episode takes you on a journey to uncover the knowledge and stories that fuel our endless quest for understanding. Let your curiosity guide you.
Ancient Greece, the birthplace of civilization and timeless ideas. Ancient Greece, often considered the cradle of Western civilization, stands as one of the most influential periods in human history. Its legacy extends across philosophy, art, politics, science, and culture, forming the bedrock of many aspects of the modern world. Situated in the southeastern corner of Europe, the ancient Greek civilization was not a unified empire but a collection of city-states, each with its own government, culture, and traditions. Despite their differences, these city-states shared a common language, religion, and a sense of shared identity, which allowed them to contribute collectively to one of the most remarkable periods in history. The roots of ancient Greece can be traced back to the Bronze Age, beginning around 3000 BCE. This period saw the emergence of the Minoan civilization on the island of Crete, which flourished between 2014-50 BCE. The Minoans were known for their sophisticated palaces, such as Knossos, advanced trade networks, and vibrant frescoes depicting a dynamic and complex society. Their influence extended across the Aegean, leaving a cultural and economic imprint that would shape the early development of the Greek mainland. Following the decline of the Minoan civilization, the Mycenaean culture rose to prominence on the Greek mainland, dominating the region from approximately 1600 to 1100 BCE. The Mycenaeans were a warrior society, as evidenced by their fortified palaces and the wealth of weaponry found in their archaeological sites. They left behind the earliest form of written Greek, known as Linear B, which provides insights into their administrative and economic systems. The Mycenaeans are also immortalized in Greek mythology and Homeric epics, with tales of their exploits forming the backbone of stories like the Trojan War, as described in the Iliad and the Odyssey. The collapse of the Mycenaean civilization around 1100 BCE marked the beginning of the Greek Dark Ages, a period characterized by a decline in population, trade, and literacy. This era, lasting until around 800 BCE, was a time of significant cultural regression, but it also laid the groundwork for the revival and transformation that would follow. During this period, Greek communities began to reorganize themselves into smaller, self-governing units that eventually evolved into the polis, or city-state, the defining political structure of ancient Greece. The Archaic period, circa 800 to 480 BCE, marked the emergence of these city-states and the revival of Greek culture and economy. During this time, Greeks adopted the Phoenician alphabet, allowing for the development of a written language that facilitated the recording of literature, laws, and historical events. The period also saw the birth of iconic institutions, including the Olympic Games, first held in 776 BCE, which celebrated physical prowess and unity among the Greek city-states. One of the most transformative developments of this era was the rise of colonization. Faced with overpopulation and limited resources, many Greek city-states established colonies throughout the Mediterranean and Black Sea regions. These colonies spread Greek culture, language, and trade networks far beyond the Aegean, creating a vast cultural and economic sphere that linked disparate regions. This expansion also exposed Greeks to the ideas and technologies of other civilizations, including the Egyptians, Phoenicians, and Persians, enriching their own intellectual and artistic traditions. The political systems of the city-states varied widely, ranging from monarchies to oligarchies and, most famously, to democracy, as seen in Athens. Sparta, another prominent city-state, developed a unique militaristic and oligarchic system that prioritized discipline and communal loyalty. These differing political models not only defined the character of individual city-states but also fostered debates about governance and citizenship that would influence political thought for centuries. Religious beliefs played a central role in ancient Greek life, with gods and goddesses believed to oversee every aspect of existence. The Greeks worshipped a pantheon of deities led by Zeus, who resided on Mount Olympus. Temples, rituals, and festivals were integral to their culture, reflecting their desire to honor the gods and seek their favor. Myths, which explained natural phenomena, human behavior, and historical events, were central to their worldview. These stories, passed down orally and later written by poets like Hesiod and Homer, served as a unifying cultural force and a source of moral and ethical guidance. By the end of the Archaic period, Greece was on the cusp of monumental change. The conflicts and alliances between city-states, coupled with the growing cultural and intellectual flourishing, set the stage for the classical period, which would see the height of Greek achievement in philosophy, art, politics, and science. This rich and complex civilization, forged in the crucible of conflict and cooperation, was about to enter a golden age that would forever shape the course of human history. The classical period of ancient Greece, circa 480 to 323 BCE, is often regarded as the pinnacle of Greek civilization, marked by extraordinary achievements in art, philosophy, politics, and science. This era began in the wake of the Persian Wars, a defining series of conflicts that united the Greek city-states against the vast Persian Empire. Despite their differences, the Greeks achieved a stunning victory, most notably in battles like Marathon, Thermopylae, and Salamis. These triumphs not only preserved their independence but also fostered a sense of cultural and political identity that propelled Greece into a golden age. Athens emerged as the leading city-state during this period, largely due to its role in defeating the Persians and the subsequent formation of the Delian League, an alliance ostensibly created to defend against future threats. Under the leadership of Pericles, Athens transformed into a hub of political innovation, artistic expression, and intellectual inquiry. The city adopted a radical form of democracy in which citizens, free adult males, participated directly in decision-making processes. While this system excluded women, slaves, and non-citizens, it was a revolutionary experiment in governance that laid the groundwork for modern democratic principles. The cultural achievements of classical Greece were equally transformative. The arts flourished, particularly in architecture and sculpture, as exemplified by the Parthenon, a temple dedicated to Athena, the patron goddess of Athens. This architectural marvel showcased the Greeks' mastery of proportion, balance, and harmony, principles that would influence Western art for centuries. Greek sculpture also evolved during this time, moving from the rigid forms of the Archaic period to more naturalistic and dynamic representations of the human body. Sculptors like Phidias, Polykleitos, and Myron captured movement, emotion, and anatomical precision in their works, creating enduring masterpieces. Drama and literature reached unprecedented heights during the classical period. The great playwrights Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides revolutionized theater, exploring themes of human suffering, morality, and the relationship between humans and the divine. Their tragedies, performed during religious festivals, were not only artistic endeavors but also communal experiences that prompted audiences to reflect on profound ethical and existential questions. Meanwhile, Aristophanes' comedies offered sharp political satire and social commentary, providing a different lens through which to view Greek society. Philosophy, perhaps the most enduring legacy of classical Greece, reached its zenith during this era. Thinkers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle laid the foundations of Western intellectual tradition, addressing questions about knowledge, ethics, politics, and the nature of reality. Socrates, known for his method of dialectical questioning, challenged Athenians to examine their beliefs and values critically. His student Plato expanded on these ideas, developing a comprehensive philosophical system in works like the Republic, which envisioned an ideal society governed by philosopher kings. Aristotle, Plato's student, took a more empirical approach, studying the natural world and developing methods of logical reasoning that influenced science and philosophy for millennia. The political landscape of Greece during the classical period was dynamic and often turbulent. While Athens flourished culturally and politically, its growing power and influence provoked tensions with other city-states, particularly Sparta. This rivalry culminated in the Peloponnesian War, 431 to 404 BCE, a protracted and devastating conflict that pitted Athens and its allies against Sparta and the Peloponnesian League. The war ended in Spartan victory but left Greece weakened and divided, paving the way for external forces to assert dominance. Despite the decline in political unity, Greek science and mathematics continued to advance. Figures like Hippocrates, often called the father of medicine, sought to understand and treat diseases through observation and reasoning rather than superstition. In mathematics, Pythagoras and later Euclid made groundbreaking contributions that remain fundamental to the field today. These advancements reflected the Greeks' broader commitment to rational inquiry and the pursuit of knowledge. The classical period also saw the expansion of Greek influence beyond the Aegean. The conquests of Alexander the Great, who rose to power after the decline of Athens and Sparta, marked the transition to the Hellenistic period. Educated by Aristotle and driven by a vision of unifying the known world, Alexander embarked on a campaign that stretched from Greece to Egypt and as far as India. His conquests disseminated Greek culture and ideas across a vast territory, creating a blend of traditions that would characterize the Hellenistic era. By the end of the classical period, Greece had transformed from a fragmented collection of city-states into a civilization whose intellectual, artistic, and cultural achievements would resonate throughout history. This golden age, though marred by conflict and eventual decline, left a legacy that continues to shape the foundations of the modern world. The Hellenistic period, 323 to 30 BCE, marked the final chapter of ancient Greece, characterized by the blending of Greek culture with influences from the vast territories conquered by Alexander the Great. This era began with Alexander's untimely death in 323 BCE, which left his empire fractured and ruled by his generals, known as the Diadochi. These leaders divided the empire into several Hellenistic kingdoms, including the Ptolemaic kingdom in Egypt, the Seleucid Empire in Asia, and the Antigonid dynasty in Macedonia and Greece. Despite political fragmentation, the Hellenistic period was an age of remarkable cultural and intellectual flourishing. One of the defining features of this era was the spread of Greek culture, known as Hellenization, throughout the regions Alexander had conquered. Greek became the lingua franca of the Hellenistic world, facilitating trade, communication, and the exchange of ideas. Cities founded by Alexander and his successors, such as Alexandria in Egypt and Antioch in Syria, became thriving centers of learning, commerce, and cultural exchange. These cosmopolitan cities blended Greek traditions with local customs, creating a rich and diverse cultural landscape. Alexandria, in particular, emerged as a beacon of knowledge and innovation. The city was home to the Great Library, which sought to collect all the knowledge of the ancient world, and the museum, a research institution that attracted scholars from across the Mediterranean and beyond. Figures like Euclid, who laid the foundations of geometry, and Eratosthenes, who accurately estimated the Earth's circumference, worked in Alexandria, advancing science and mathematics to unprecedented levels. Archimedes, another luminary of this era, made groundbreaking contributions in physics, engineering, and mathematics, demonstrating the innovative spirit of the Hellenistic period. Philosophy also evolved during this time, adapting to the changing political and social landscape. Schools of thought like Stoicism, founded by Zeno of Citium, and Epicureanism, established by Epicurus, focused on personal ethics and the pursuit of happiness in an uncertain world. Stoicism emphasized the importance of living in harmony with nature and accepting life's challenges with resilience, while Epicureanism advocated for a life of moderation and the avoidance of pain as the path to true contentment. These philosophies, rooted in the classical tradition, offered practical guidance for individuals in navigating the complexities of the Hellenistic era. Art and architecture flourished, reflecting the cosmopolitan and diverse nature of the Hellenistic world. Artists and sculptors moved beyond the idealized forms of the classical period, embracing realism and emotional expression. Masterpieces like the Venus de Milo and the Laocoon group captured human beauty and suffering with remarkable detail and dynamism. Hellenistic architecture also pushed boundaries, creating monumental structures such as the Lighthouse of Alexandria, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, which symbolized the technological and architectural ingenuity of the time. Religion during the Hellenistic period became increasingly syncretic, blending Greek deities with local gods and traditions. The worship of deities like Serapis, a fusion of Greek and Egyptian religious elements, exemplified this cultural integration. Mystery religions, such as the cult of Dionysus and the Eleusinian mysteries, gained popularity, offering initiates a sense of personal connection to the divine and the promise of an afterlife. These developments reflected the changing spiritual needs of a diverse and interconnected world. Despite these cultural achievements, the Hellenistic kingdoms were marked by political instability and frequent conflicts. The power struggles among the Diadochi and their successors weakened the unity of the empire, leaving the Hellenistic world vulnerable to external threats. The rise of Rome during this period posed an existential challenge to the Greek kingdoms. One by one, they fell under Roman control, culminating in the annexation of Egypt in 30 BCE after the defeat of Cleopatra VII and Mark Antony at the Battle of Actium. The incorporation of the Hellenistic world into the Roman Empire marked the end of ancient Greece as a political entity, but its cultural legacy endured. Greek art, literature, philosophy, and science profoundly influenced Roman society and, through Rome, the broader Western world. The works of Greek philosophers and scientists continued to be studied and expanded upon, shaping the intellectual traditions of the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. The story of ancient Greece, from the rise of the Minoans to the spread of Hellenistic culture, is one of innovation, resilience, and profound impact. Its contributions to democracy, philosophy, science, and the arts laid the foundations for modern civilization. The ideas and achievements of the Greeks, preserved and transmitted across millennia, remain a testament to the enduring power of human creativity and inquiry. The legacy of ancient Greece, though rooted in a distant past, continues to illuminate the present and inspire the future.